everyone, thanks for joining me for another Nurturing Nature video. Today we're going to learn a little bit more about butterflies and pollinators and how to attract them to your garden. And at the end, you'll be able to make your own little butterfly puddler from the kit that you should have picked up by now. And I'll also show you how to make a simple bird bath. But for now, we're going to learn a little bit more about butterflies. From Caterpillar to Butterfly, Following the Life Cycle, and this book is by Suzanne Slade. Colorful flyers. Butterflies fill our sky with beauty. Some butterflies are large, others are small. These insects have colorful wings that may have stripes or spots. There are at least 15,000 different kinds of butterflies in the world. All butterflies go through the same stages or steps in their life cycles. Let's follow the life cycle of the monarch butterfly. And as you know, the monarch butterfly is the Illinois butterfly insect. The amazing monarch. The monarch butterfly is a strong flyer. It can stay in flight for a long time without resting. Some monarchs can easily soar thousands of miles during a lifetime. A monarch does not start out with its powerful wings. Like all butterflies, a monarch goes through many changes before becoming an adult butterfly. There it is. In the beginning, butterflies go through 4 stages during their lives. These stages are egg, larva, pupa, and adult. A monarch butterfly begins its life as a tiny egg. This is the first stage in its life cycle. There you go. There it's showing its egg. It's a little bit larger than what it really would be. Tiny eggs. A female monarch lays her egg on a milkweed plant. She usually sticks her egg on the underside of a milkweed leaf. Soon a tiny insect begins to grow inside the egg, and they will just lay 1 egg on each leaf. And last year we had milkweed growing at the library, and we did attract some monarchs. Depending on the temperature, a larva hatches from a monarch egg in 4 to 6 days. The larva is also called a caterpillar. It eats the soft shell of its egg. Then it begins to munch on milkweed leaves. The caterpillar grows for at least 2 weeks. If the temperature is low, the caterpillar may take longer to grow. And if you visit our library in the spring, the last few years, we have hatched butterflies. We get those little caterpillar pots, and they're full of the larvae. They work their way up to the lid of that pot, and then we'll put them in their habitats, and they do make their chrysalis, and then they become butterflies, and we do release them. The pupa. A monarch caterpillar sheds its skin 4 times. After shedding its skin the 5th time, the caterpillar becomes a pupa. The pupa covers itself with a liquid that turns into a hard shell. The shell is called a chrysalis. Inside the chrysalis, wonderful changes take place. There it is, and you'll see those. Taking flight. In about 2 weeks, the hard chrysalis begins to open. A new butterfly comes out of its shell. Then the butterfly unfolds wet, wrinkled wings. It waits for them to dry. The butterfly has a proboscis, or long tube. There it is, you can see it. It will use the proboscis for feeding. The proboscis is in 2 pieces, and the butterfly must fix the 2 pieces together before it is ready to fly. After about an hour, the beautiful butterfly flutters into the sky. Seeing the world. The monarch begins a new and exciting life as a butterfly. It no longer spends all its time on a milkweed plant. Instead of munching on leaves, a butterfly flies from flower to flower. It drinks a sweet liquid called nectar. The nectar is found inside the flowers. The life cycle continues. Monarch butterflies that come out of their chrysalids during the months from December through August live only about a month. Those that come out in late summer or fall can live for 8 to 9 months. During this short time, a monarch searches for a mating partner. A male monarch often gives off a special smell to get a female's attention. After mating, the female finds a safe place to lay her eggs. This tiny egg begins a brand new life cycle, and soon another beautiful monarch butterfly will take to the sky. So around here, they start hatching in spring. Our butterflies, our monarchs. And 5 or 6 generations through the summer, that last generation is the one that will fly to Mexico. So the ones that begin in the spring, they'll just continue, and get the families and will continue through the summer, and that last batch that hatches are the ones that fly all the way to Mexico. So if you are interested in attracting butterflies and other pollinators to your garden, in your package, you'll have what you can do to make a butterfly garden, the plants that are needed, some resources. And if you live in an apartment and have a balcony, you can still have butterflies. You can plant the right things in those little pots, and you'll be able to attract some butterflies as well. Here's a list of plants that really attract the butterflies, and some shrubberies too that can help lead those butterflies to your garden. And of course, we know that milkweed is a favorite of our monarch butterflies. So today we're going to make a butterfly puddler, and in your kit you will have received a clay saucer, a pot, some rocks, sand, and some compost manure. Now this is not smelly, it's not stinky, but it has the nutrients, rich nutrients that will attract the butterflies. So I'm gonna empty out that. So the first thing you want to do is pour your sand into your pot as much as you want. Make sure that's good. I'm going to push it over to the side somewhat because I'm going to use my rocks to make a little border. So I'm going to try and get that as much as possible. And you're going to take some of the compost and just mix it into your soil. Just a little bit. That was in the bag. Just mix it in. Like I said, this is the compost. It has nutrients, organic matter that butterflies would naturally find if they were coming and sipping in the mud puddles in your garden. The sand is from the garden center. Do not buy the sand that you'd put in a sandbox because that's been washed every bit. Well, it's been stripped of the nutrients that butterflies will be looking for. Then I'm going to make a border with my rocks because I want to leave a little empty space. You don't have to do this. It's just something you can do. And we put the rocks on there. If you weren't making a border, you could still put the rocks in there because butterflies would like to have something to just land on. And you want to pour some water in there. And let the sand soak it up. And it's called a puddler because of course you do want to have some little puddles because, like I said, out in nature, after it rains, there's puddles in the grounds, and that's what the butterflies, bees, and other things are looking for. And I mention bees because they are pollinators. We do need them for our garden. We're not trying to attract wasps because they are the ones that cause us trouble, but bees are needed to pollinate our flowers, our vegetables, our fruits. Then I painted my pot. If you're going to paint, make sure you use acrylic paint and then put some Mod Podge on it. You don't have to use the pot. You can just put this directly in the ground. You want to put it in a place where there's some plants that are attracting the butterflies. I do not recommend you paint the clay saucer. The paint can flake off, and then if you use Mod Podge, you're going to have chemicals, and we really don't want our butterflies getting into that. If you put this in your garden, I also don't recommend putting it near anything that is going to attract the birds, like a bird bed, because in the life cycle, yes, the birds will eat the butterflies. I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to show you an easy bird bed that can be made. And you do have these instructions. These again are just clay pots. I painted them with acrylic paints and then put Mod Podge over them. Do that. Here you go. And then I have a bigger saucer that I would put up there, or you could even make it a big, tall butterfly puddler. Another thing you can put in your puddler, and I do have some right here, which I was going to put in the empty spot. If you have overripe fruit, the other day I bought some strawberries, some were just almost too mushy to eat. Butterflies will love these. These will attract some other pollinators. So if you have overripe bananas, overripe oranges, and again, if you visit us when we are hatching our butterflies, you'll notice we put tangerines and little clementines in there once they start hatching. Other thing I want to just show you, I haven't used these yet. I don't know if they work too well, but I did buy some little bee houses and pollinator houses to host some bees if they happen to come into my garden. There are beekeepers. I don't have a beehive. Again, I'm not looking for wasps. I just want the bees to help with my garden. If you're looking for books from the library, we have Monarch and Milkweed by Helen Frost. You can phone up the library, reserve these books. There are Touch a Butterfly, Wildlife Gardening with Kids by April Pulley-Sayer. These are all available at the Alsop Library. And Gardening for Birds, Butterflies, and Bees. Everything you need to know to create a wildlife habitat in your backyard. And of course, the book that we read today, From Caterpillar to Butterfly, Following the Life Cycle by Suzanne Slade. And there's some more information in this book that we didn't read today. So that's it for today. That was our nature series video today. Thanks for joining me, and please join me again next week when we have some more gardening fun, and there'll be some more tips on how to keep your garden growing. Thanks everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.